Hello everyone, welcome to Vision Gate. Today we are going to start new subject communication system. It is very important for the electronics student because in GATE exam every year around 10 to 12 marks come from communication system, and as you know that in GATE 2020 12 marks question came from communication system, and plus few more marks was there from mix of communication system plus mathematics. So around 12 marks question came this year, so it is one of the most important subject. And syllabus you can check on internet, but I will tell you the two important thing in the communication system, two important part of it. The first one is analog communication. Okay, from here nowadays question is coming very less, but this is also important. Some year question are repeating too much in analog communication. And the second part is digital communication. In digital communication there is many more part like the communication, digital communication techniques like ASK, PSK, FSK, then Mary FSK, like that. And after that the random variable, noise, these things are very important in digital communication. So digital communication is very important for the GATE syllabus. Okay, this is very important. So now let me switch off the mobile notification. Okay, so today we will start with analog communication first, but before that we will study the introduction to communication system. This introduction is common for both the analog and digital communication, because and after that we will start analog communication with amplitude modulation and then angle modulation. So let's start with the definition of communication system. So communication system is the process of transmitting information from one place to another. So what is basically communication system? Let's suppose this is our antenna at the transmitter end, and here is the antenna at the receiver end. This is the user. So what happens? The data is transmitted and received at the user end. So it is the process of transmitting information from one place to another or transmitter to user. So write the definition. Communication system is the process of transmitting information from one place to the another. And just remember these things, because when you clear GATE examination, in the interview of communication system or signal processing, they ask this basic definition: what is communication system, what is the use of modulation, what are the various demodulation techniques, these things they ask. So let's see the basic block diagram of the communication system. Basic block diagram of communication system. In block diagram there are various elements of communication system, and we will study the function of those elements. Okay, so in the block diagram, the first is the information source. Means the information source is having the information, means it produces some information that is to be transmitted. Okay, so now how this will be transmitted? This will be transmitted like the source is first converted into electrical form, and the information signal is converted into electrical form using the transducer. So this is called as the source transducer. Okay. Now what this source transducer do? This transmit the data, and now in the receiver end there is a receiver transducer, because it is the electrical signal that is transmitted. So the receiver transducer receive the electrical signal, and this convert it into the information source. That is the function of receiver transducer. Okay. And after this it is given to the destination or the user, and then user uses that information signal and get the information. So you understood the communication process. This is our transmitter end and this is our receiver end. Okay. So we will study, I will give the definition of what is source transducer, receive transducer. But before that, there are different kind of signals. The first one is the voice signals, and we will see what is the bandwidth of those signals. So for voice signal, the bandwidth is 300 Hz to 3.5 kilohertz. Okay. And as you know, actually these bandwidths are infinite, but what we do, like we take the significant bandwidth. Let's suppose this is our 300 Hz and this is our voice signal. Okay. So the signal is like this. Okay. And this is our 3.5 kilohertz. So what happened in this range, 300 Hz to 3.5 kilohertz, 90 to 95% of the signal information is contained. So we just take the limited bandwidth, because if we will take infinite bandwidth, then we need the channel of infinite bandwidth, and that is not practical, and the cost of the communication system will increase. We cannot take the channel of infinite bandwidth. So the significant signal information, that is 90 to 95% of the total information, lies in the range of 300 Hz to 3.5 kilohertz. Okay. So this is the bandwidth of the voice signal. The next is audio signal. Audio signal have the bandwidth of 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Okay. And then the video signal. These three are the most important signal: voice, audio and video signal. The bandwidth of video signal is 0 to 4.5 megahertz. Actually these kind of question might come in some other simple examination, but it won't come in GATE, because nowadays GATE asks very good numerical question in communication. So now we will see the definition, means the function of source transducer first. So what does source transducer do? Source transducer converts the information signal into the electrical signal. Okay. Converts physical signal, because we cannot transmit physical signal through the channel. So for transmitting, it converts physical signal into electrical signal, and then it transmits it. And the example of the source transducer, one of the best example is microphone. Okay. You also know that when we speak, that is the signal, means the physical signal, and microphone converts that physical signal into the electrical signal, and it transmits it. Then the speaker receive and speak it out in the form of, the speaker converts the electrical signal into the physical signal, and then the user receives the physical signal at the receiver end. And why the wired communication system is less preferred than the wireless communication nowadays? So there is one simple thing, that wired communication is preferred for the short distance communication system, but nowadays we require the long distance communication system. Like for that, wireless communication is the perfect one. So wired communication is preferred for preferred only for short distance communication. Let's suppose we have to employ a communication system, and that is from Delhi to Hyderabad. And if we use the wired communication, then we have to take a wire from Delhi to Hyderabad. It is a rubbish process. So for long distance, wired communication is never used, and for the long distance, communication, signal propagates through the free space. Okay, because it cannot propagate through the wire. So for long distance, signal propagates through free space, and this free space is the channel of the communication system. So the receiver and this is done in the wireless communication. Okay, this wireless communication is for the long distance. For short distance, wireless communication is preferred because it is very high, having a high speed. And what does the receiver transducer do? We have seen here, we have the component like source transducer, receiver transducer. So receiver transducer actually receives the electrical signal. So receiver transducer converts electrical signal into physical signal. So this is how the basic communication system works. Now we will take the block diagram of the wireless communication system. It is having more component because it is used for the long distance transmission. So block diagram of wireless communication system. So in the block diagram, the first is the information source, because this information source is only to be transmitted. So what happened now? Source transducer again converts this information source into the electrical equivalent. Okay. Now this electrical equivalent is modulated. Modulation is required in the wireless communication. I will tell you why in the next topic. After this we will study the use of modulation. Now this after modulating the signal, the transmitter transmit the information that is in the electrical form. Now here the receiver receive it, and first the demodulator is used, because the demodulation is the reverse of the modulation. Okay, so demodulator is used. After that, the receiver transducer converts the electrical signal into the physical signal, and this is reached to the destination, that is the user. Okay, so this is the basic component of the wireless communication system. So first of all, information source is converted into electrical form using the source transducer. Then it is modulated and then transmitted. This is the transmitter end. Okay, and this is the receiver end. In receiver end, first the signal is demodulated to its original frequency, and then receiver transducer converts the electrical signal into the physical signal equivalent, and that is given to the destination, that is the user. So this is the block diagram of the wireless communication systems. Okay, so next we will study now the need for the modulation. What is the need for modulation in wireless communications system? Generally, without modulation, long distance communication through free space is not possible. If we will not do modulation, then the long distance communication through free space is not possible, then wireless communication is not possible. So for the possibility of wireless communication, modulation is required, and the first one is the need of modulation is it reducing the antenna height. Modulation reduces the antenna height. We will know it using the simple formula. We know that this is, let's suppose, this is our height of the antenna, and it is transmitting the signal. So for the faithful radiation of a signal, antenna height should be at least of lambda by 4. Okay, so antenna height should be at least of lambda by 4, and we know that height of antenna, that is equal to given by C by 4f. So when we do the modulation, this frequency is increasing, so thereby antenna height is reducing. So let's take an example like the speed of light c, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and let's suppose the frequency is 15 kilohertz. So after this, what will be the height of antenna we will get? This will cut, so here will be the power 5, and when you will do, you will get 5 kilometer. So if we use the antenna of 5 kilometer, it is totally a illogical process. So what we will do now, we will modulate the signal with 1 megahertz carrier frequency. So now the height of antenna will be 3 into 10 to the power 8, that is C, and in the denominator 4 into, and F is here 10 to the power 6. So when you will do, you will get 75 meter. So this is the logical process. So using the modulation for transmitting the information, we do not require 5 kilometer length of antenna. 75 meter length of antenna is sufficient if we use the modulating carrier signal frequency, that is 1 megahertz. Okay, understood? So take a note point here. Modulation is the process of increasing frequency of the signal to reduce the antenna height requirements. Okay, so write it. Modulation is the process of increasing frequency of the signal is increasing the frequency of the signal. If the frequency is increased, then height will reduce, because height is inversely proportional to the frequency. Okay, so increasing frequency of the signal to reduce the height of the antenna. So then the another use of modulation is multiplexing. We will know what is multiplexing. See, today we are only taking the introduction class. From tomorrow we will start analog communication. So in multiplexing, it is the process of transmitting multiple signals, many number of signals through a common channel. Generally without modulation, multiplexing is not possible. So it is the process of transmitting multiple signal. Like when we modulate, the different frequency component will present if you modulate with different carrier frequency. So process of transmitting a multiple signal, that is many number of signal through a common channel, is known as multiplexing. Okay, and generally multiplexing is not possible without modulation. Understood? Means we need modulation for multiplexing and to reduce the antenna height. So you understand the use of the modulation. The first one is to reduce the antenna height, and the second one is the for the multiplexing of signals. Now we will see the Fourier transform. You must have already studied in signal system, and I will also teach signal system later, but for the basic whatever you require in communication I will tell you now. And even in mathematics I taught the Fourier transform. So when the signal xt is Fourier transform, then it can be written as xf. Means Fourier transform is done to show the frequency component of the signal. So how we will obtain xf? Xf is equal to integration minus infinite to infinite xt into e to the power minus j omega t, and here omega is equal to 2 pi f, so we can write minus j 2 pi f t dt. Okay, so when xt is passed through ht, then this can be written as the xt convolution ht. So we will receive here yt. So what is yt? Yt is equal to xt convolution with ht. Okay, and also the spectrum analysis of xt is the xf. What is spectrum analysis? Spectrum analysis is to show all the frequency component present in the signal xf. So the spectrum analysis of xt is xf. So what is the use of this Fourier transform? Fourier transform is mainly used to find the frequency present in the given time domain signal. So just write it, because most of the time they ask in the interview examination of IIT. Fourier transform is mainly used to find frequencies present in the given time domain signal. So we will take some basic examples. Let's suppose the xt is the signal So this is our xt, and here the amplitude is a, and this is our time axis, and this is tau by t minus tau by t. Okay, so what is the width of this xt? That is tau. So if such signal is there and you have to say to find the xf, so xf will be, that is equal to minus tau by 2, because up to minus infinity to minus tau by 2, that will be 0. So minus tau by t to tau by 2 a into e to the power minus j 2 pi ft dt. When you will do this integration, you will get xf is equal to a tau, means amplitude into the width sinc f tau. Okay, this is the width. So this is the width of the signal. Width multiplied by frequency, and here this is area of the signal, because a into tau, this is the area of the signal. So for such rectangular pulse, we can find the Fourier transform very easily. Area into sinc frequency component multiplied with the width of the signal. And what is sinc x? Sinc x can be written as sine pi x by pi x. So today is just introduction class, don't worry, we will study all things in details in communication also and signal and system also. Sampling x, that is equal to sine x by x. These are the function name, so you need not worry. So this is the graph of sinc x. Okay, so this is the graph of the sinc x. And now at x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 0, sinc x is equal to 1, and at x is equal to plus minus 1 plus minus 2, like this is 1, this is minus 1, this is 2, this is minus 2, and so on, sinc x is equal to 0. That's why sine pi x by pi x is there, so it is normalized with the pi. Okay, so if this is the point pi, so pi divided by pi, that will be 1. This is minus pi, so minus pi divided by pi, that is minus 1. So at all the integer value of x, sinc x will be 0. Now in the above function, like this rectangular function, the Fourier transform is a tau sinc f tau. A tau sinc f tau. So on the frequency axis, this graph will be given as, that is so the magnitude is here a tau, so at x is equal to 0 it will be a tau, and f is multiplied with tau, so this will be 1 by tau, because if f tau is integer then it will be 0. Let's suppose f tau is equal to 1, so f is equal to 1 by tau. So at 1 by tau minus 1 by tau, 2 by tau minus 2 by tau, this will be 0. Okay, understood how it came? So now the signal bandwidth SB, that is equal to signal bandwidth, that is given as highest frequency component present in the signal minus lowest frequency component present in the signal. So this is the signal bandwidth. So here you see the highest is at infinite, so that the signal bandwidth will be infinite minus 0, that is equal to infinite. But we know that channel bandwidth should be always greater than signal bandwidth, but channel bandwidth cannot be infinite, that is not practically possible. So for this we will take the signal, that is the significant power of the signal comes in it, that is 90 to 95% power of a signal come under the bandwidth. So for that we will limit up to like this or that. So the low pass filter is given, let's suppose the channel is low pass filter, then it will be given like minus 1 by tau to 1 by tau, and here it is 1. So when we apply this signal to the low pass filter, so we will get the final signal when we will apply the signal ST. So we will get the component between minus 1 by tau to 1 by tau, and after that is multiplied with 0, so all the component will vanish. So this is our 1 by tau and this is our minus 1 by tau. So between this we will get the signal, and after that after 1 by tau it will be 0, and before minus 1 by tau it will be 0. Now if they are asking you to find the energy of a signal, we already studied in maths and we will study in signal system, but here also we will study basically, that is x squared t dt. So for the previous signal it will be a squared tau joules. The unit of energy is in the joules. And if it is to be found using the frequency component, then E is equal to minus infinite to infinite xf squared df. Okay, so by using these two formula we can find the energy of a signal. So for proper transmitting of above signal, the channel bandwidth of infinite is required. See, here the channel bandwidth of infinite is required. But channel bandwidth of infinite is not practically possible. So we need the channel of finite bandwidth, so that before transmission it should be band limited. Means the signal should be band limited before transmission. Okay. Now the bandwidth of a signal, that is significant frequency, only will be retained and only the insignificant frequency will be eliminated. What is significant frequency? Significant frequency contains 95% to 99% of the total strength of the signal. So write this point: bandwidth of a signal of having infinite bandwidth is band limited, because channel bandwidth should be always greater than signal bandwidth. So when we'll do band limitation, then the significant frequency is only considered as the bandwidth, is only considered as the bandwidth. Okay, so the significant frequency contains 95% to 99% of the total strength of the signal. Okay, we already took the example of audio signal, means the voice signal. Now let's take the example of audio signal. What is significant bandwidth we will study using this example. This is the frequency axis. Let's suppose the bandwidth of audio signal is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, but in reality it goes up to infinite. But within the range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, the 95% to the 90% of the strength of the signal is contained. So significant bandwidth of the audio signal that is nearly equal to 20 kHz, because bandwidth is the highest frequency component minus lowest frequency component. So 20 kHz minus 20 Hz, that will be nearly equal to 20 Hz. But the complete bandwidth that goes up to 5 megahertz for the audio signal. Complete bandwidth of audio signal that goes up to 5 megahertz. But we take the only significant bandwidth of the audio signal. Okay, so you understood why we take the significant bandwidth. So next we will study the modulation property. So modulation property is defined as if Fourier transform of xt is xf, then Fourier transform of xt cos 2 pi f naught t, that is given as x f minus f naught plus x f plus f naught divided by 2. So this component, that is x f minus f naught, this is shifted to right, and that is a delayed signal. Okay, and this f plus f naught, that is shifted to left, that is advanced, because f plus f naught is there. So this is the advanced signal, advanced part, and that was the delayed part. Okay, now we will see the concept of modulation. So let's suppose this is our message signal. This is 1, this is minus tau by 2 to tau by 2, okay, and tau is equal to 1 millisecond, or it can be 1 microsecond, whatever. So we will take it later, what is the value of tau. And when you will get MF for this signal in the frequency domain, MF is equal to, it will be sinc function, that is 1 by tau, it is minus 1 by tau, when we will give the MT in the low pass. Okay, when it is using low pass or bass band signal, then the MF will be like this. And to decide antenna height, we will study that concept, don't worry, this is also included in that. To decide antenna height, lowest frequency component is considered. Means we will consider the lowest frequency component to decide the antenna height. Let's suppose this is our band pass signal, and the range of this band pass signal is 1 megahertz to 2 megahertz. Then we will consider 1 megahertz frequency to find the antenna height. Okay, so when we use the low pass signal, then the antenna height is infinite, because the lowest frequency is at 0 kilohertz. And when we use the band pass signal, then the antenna height is reduced. Understood? Now let's take the carrier signal CT, that is equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT, and assume here FC is equal to 1 megahertz, that is equal to 1000 kilohertz. So when we will draw the graph of CT, today is just the introduction class, so I am just teaching you all the basic introduction related to this topic. So this is, let's suppose, AC, and this is our minus AC. So this is the graph of AC cos 2 pi FCT. Now when you will modulate it, you will get, here the FC is 1000 kilohertz. So you will get at the FC, that is AC by 2, and at minus FC also you will get one component, that is also the amplitude is AC by 2, because when A cos 2 pi f naught t, we will do the Fourier transform of this, we will get A by 2 del f minus f naught plus del f plus f naught. So at f is equal to minus f naught, that is minus fc, we will get A by 2 components, so AC by 2 is at minus fc, and f is equal to f naught, that is fc, we will also get one component, that is AC by 2. And the definition of del t is equal to infinite when t is equal to 0, and del t is equal to 0 when t is not equal to 0. Okay. So now let's suppose St, that is equal to mt into Ct. See here, our Ct is this and mt is given by this. Okay, so when we will multiply mt into Ct, so what we will get, and we will do the transfer function, so then we will get the transfer function in the time domain. First of all, I will just draw the diagram of mt. This is our mt. Okay, mt is here, that is from minus tau by 2 to tau by 2, and this is our Ct, that is AC cos 2 pi fct. So in the time domain we will get St, that we will get from minus tau by 2 to tau by 2 only it will come, and that is mt into Ct. Now when we will do the transfer function in the frequency domain, so here our Fc is 1000 kilohertz, and let's suppose for mt the bandwidth is here of 2 kilohertz. So the transfer function we will get, you will understand everything when we will study in detail, but just introduction class I am taking. So here Fc is 1000 kilohertz. Okay, and this point is our Fc. So this is our 1001 kilohertz, and this is 999 kilohertz. This is the positive frequency component, and this is the negative frequency. Again, this is minus Fc, that is minus 1000 kilohertz. This is minus 999 kilohertz, and here it is minus 1001 kilohertz. So St is the modulated signal, and this is our SF. So the bandwidth will be signal bandwidth, that is equal to 1001 kilohertz minus 999 kilohertz, that will be equal to 2 kilohertz. Understood how we do transfer function and all? So today we are just studying the basic part, so don't worry, and from tomorrow we will study the important parts. So how to decide when the filter is low pass or high pass, means the low pass or band pass. For low pass filter, the highest frequency component by lowest frequency component, that should be much greater than 1 mathematically. Okay, because see, this is our low pass filter. So the lowest frequency, highest frequency component, let's suppose this is 1 kilohertz, that is 1 by 0, that is equal to infinite. And how to decide whether the filter is band pass? For band pass, the highest frequency component divided by the lowest frequency component, that is nearly equal to 1 mathematically. Okay, so let's suppose this is 1 megahertz and this is 2 megahertz. So the means highest frequency component, that is 2 by 1, that is nearly is equal to 2 only, that is equal to 2, but it is greater than 1, or such kind of signal is called as the band pass. Because see here the gap is too much, 1 megahertz to megahertz. Let's suppose the signal is like this, 1000 kilohertz to 1001 kilohertz. Here you will get exactly nearly equal to 1. So this is also our band pass signal, and this is also our band pass. See, this you can easily see, this is band pass. But for the tough consideration, like when it is in the kilohertz range, it should be equal to 1. Okay, and for low pass filter, it should be much greater than 1, that is nearly equal to infinite. Okay, so now we will see the demodulation. What is demodulation? We studied the modulation, need of modulation. Now we will study demodulation. So it is the process of recovering original message from the transmitted modulated signal. It is the process of recovering original message from transmitted modulated signal. Means when we recover the original message from the modulated signal, that is called as the demodulation technique. Now we will see the types of demodulation. Here we are studying just the definition and all. In future, we will study very deeply all these in communication system. And this is very important subject for the electronics student. You should not miss it. Many students miss it and they do not get good marks in GATE, because this subject alone gives you 12 to 15 marks. This year if you see some mathematics question that was also based on communication system, so that 2-3 marks if you add, it will go up to 15 marks, and 12 marks it came the pure communication system question. The types of modulation. The first one is the single tone modulation. What is single tone modulation? If the message signal having single frequency component, then correspond to the single tone modulation. If the message signal is having single frequency component, then correspond to single tone modulation. Okay. The second one is the multi-tone modulation. In multi-tone modulation, the message signal have multiple frequency component. Okay. If the message signal is having multiple frequency component, then it corresponds to multi-tone modulation. So let's take an example. Let's suppose MT, that is given as AM cos 2 pi FMT. So This is a single tone modulation. See how. This is our frequency axis. This is 0. See, there is two frequency component at FM and minus FM. And there is only frequency component present in this. So this is called as single tone modulation, because negative frequency is not considered practically. In practically, negative frequency is not considered. Okay, so this is single tone modulation. We will study why negative frequency is not considered practically in signal and system. Don't worry. Let's suppose MT, that is given as like this. So this is our 1 kilohertz, this is minus 1 kilohertz. Okay, so see, this is multi-tone modulation because the frequency component present in the signal is from 0 to 1 kilohertz. So this is called the multi-tone modulation. Also, some signal like AM1 cos 2 pi FM1t plus AM2 cos 2 pi FM2t. Such kind of signal is also multi-tone modulation because the two frequency component is present in this signal. Okay, up to this clear? Now we will see what is envelope. After that, our definition part is over. Okay, so this is our time axis, and let's suppose MT is given as this. Okay, and our CT is given as like this. Okay, this is our CT. So this is the AC, this is minus AC. Okay, we know this is the envelope of this CT. Envelope is it contains the means peak amplitude variation of the signal. Okay, this is our carrier signal. Before modulation. Now ST, that is given as MT into CT. See, MT is like this, MT is equal to T and CT is the cosine function. So our ST will be like this. Okay, so our ST is like this. So this is our ST, that is ST is equal to MT into CT. See, this is the envelope of MT, this is the envelope of CT. So under this envelope ST will come. So now when you will change into the means when you do the transfer function of this and you find it in the frequency domain, you will get this is our FC and this is our frequency domain. So this is the SF. Okay, you will study everything, don't worry. And such kind of signal is known as band pass signal. Today is just an introduction class, so don't worry if you do not understand anything, because we are going to study everything in deeply in the communication lecture. So now let's suppose we have to find the envelope of CT and envelope of MT. What will be the envelope? We already saw, but we will draw it separately. Envelope of CT and envelope of ST. So envelope of CT is just a constant, okay? So it will be given as like this, and the magnitude is AC. So this is AC. This is our time domain. This is 0. Now the envelope of ST, that is the constant, means that is the function increasing with the constant means constant slope. The slope is constant, that is maybe 1 or 2, not given clearly in this question. Okay, so above is the amplitude modulation, in which message signal is stored in the form of peak amplitude variation of carrier signal. See, we have done the amplitude modulation in this above example. Above example, see here, this is the amplitude modulation of the message signal. Above example is amplitude modulation, in which message signal is stored in the form of peak amplitude variation of carrier signal. So from this we will get the definition of modulation, that is very important. Definition of modulation. From the above example we got our definition of modulation, and that is, this is very important, modulation. It cannot be amplitude only, sometimes it may be phase or frequency also. It is the process in which one of the parameters of carrier signal, means any one of the parameter, that is amplitude or frequency or phase, varies, is any one of the parameters, that is amplitude, frequency or phase, varies according to message signal. According to message signal amplitude variation, then it is called as the modulation. See, it is a process in which the parameters of carrier signal, that is either amplitude or frequency or phase, that is varied according to the message signal amplitude variation. See, in this example also, according to the message signal amplitude variation, this is the signal ST is varying, okay? The carrier signal CT whose amplitude is varying. So understood this definition again, read it. It is the process in which one of the parameters of carrier signal, either the amplitude of the carrier signal or frequency or phase of the carrier signal, that varies according to the signal, means message signal amplitude variation, then it is called as the modulation. So for today we will stop here only. In the next lecture we will study amplitude modulation. See, today was just a introduction class, so don't worry if you do not get anything. Then we will study angle modulation. This too is very important. From here, every year 1 or 2 question comes from these two topics. And in angle modulation, one is phase modulation and other is frequency modulation. So this 1 and 2, this is very important in the analog communication part. Okay, 2 question every year in GATE. And for instrumentation student also, this is very beneficial. You can study. So today we will end up here only. Thank you everyone. Tomorrow we will study the amplitude modulation and angle modulation. Okay, bye bye.